Friends. Today we will provide the first seminar in this model. We will provide it according to our previous rules, but we will have a new topics that I send you in the MS Teams. So we have not enough time, I think, for 3 presentations, but we will try to keep this schedule. So team number 1, please let me know that you are here.
Hello, we're here,
we will start.
but we have a request. Could we please be actually the third presentation because the girl who is going to um, make the presentation is having some troubles.
No problem. So
Thank you.
your team number is 1, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, you're welcome. Your topic is about the real estate market and about the innovations in product. Please share your screen, and we're looking for a presentation. Try to keep on the schedule because we will have 1.5 hour, and we need to provide all the 3 presentations. And before I start, please let me know the list of your teammates because we will have only 4 groups today, 3 groups, and it means that someone will move from the group number 4 to the any other groups. So
We don't have
please
the fourth group. We regrouped.
yeah, 3 groups. But before, in the previous lessons, we had 4 groups or not. So it doesn't matter. Please let me know about your current teammates, and you're welcome to start.
So the second team is starting, right? We've asked. Mhm. Thank you.
You, Nikolai, you're from the first team, and you will start right now. Your opponents will be team 2 and 3.
Excuse me. That was what my request was. So the girl who is going to show
Yeah.
the
Okay.
presentation
What's your team number?
first. So can we just be like the third one?
The third
Yes,
one. I'm
yes.
sorry. Okay, no problem.
Sorry.
Uh, let me see. Just a second for the schedule. Okay, according to the schedule, the next team will be number 2, and the presentation about the pharmacy and medicine and about the product. Yeah, innovations in product. My friends, let me know that you are ready.
Hello, we are here, but we are not ready now because one of our member is going to home now, and if we will second in our schedule, we will be glad.
Okay, we're looking for the third team. Team number 3, are you ready to present right now because of the changes in our schedule? Team number 3, are you here?
Hello, we're here and we are ready to start.
Perfect, you're welcome.
So, good afternoon. Today we'll present you modern technologies that are used in pharmacy and medicine for communicating with clients. So the first technology we found is personalized chatbot. The technology is a virtual online consultant and interlocutor program based on artificial intelligence technology, which can replace.
Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah.
There is some problems with your voice. Please.
Like this. Is it better?
Yeah, it's good. And please don't forget to switch on your camera while you're presenting and while you're asking your colleagues. It's the point of respect.
It's like a bit problem. I'm at work and it's like a secret object, so I cannot share my video.
Okay, I hope that we will don't have any problems because of the privacy policy. Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Should I start from the beginning? It was bad, or I'll just continue?
Keep on.
Okay. So the relevance of the use of this technology is due to the fact that the healthcare system is overloaded and inefficient. For example, today it can be difficult to get advice from a doctor, both from a neuro specialist and on problems that are not life-threatening. If we talk about the functionality of chatbots, they can analyze the answers of patients, ask clarifying questions, and give specific recommendations. For example, a chatbot may advise a person to take his antihistamines, since the concentration of pollen on this day is especially high. Since the chatbot has information about this patient's disease, he can even recommend what he should eat for each meal based on his genomic profile. Chatbots on the websites of medical organizations are being actively introduced abroad. Let's pay attention to a few examples. European Medical Center has reduced the number of voice calls by transferring to chats, automated the processing of standard calls using bots. These changes have led to a reduction in the number of lost calls by 25%, and the response to the client is carried out within 5 seconds. The second one is Düsseldorf University Hospital. That is the largest hospital in North Rhine-Westphalia, and one of the largest institutions in Europe. Also optimize the activities of a complex structured company using a chatbot on the company's website. A study by Spacework showed that the introduction of chatbots is slowing down due to the following effects you can see on the screen. At the same time, the cost of implementing chatbots can be from 3,000 to 5,000 euros. We can identify a number of situations in which a smart assistant is definitely needed by a medical company. The first one is that company employees process 1,000 requests per month and above. If 5 or more people work in the call center, customer questions are often of the same type and simple. And the bot will also come in handy if information on one topic, for example, about discounts, is frequently updated and people ask about it. The second equally important technology, which is convenient for both medical staff and patients, is an online appointment. Let's look at how this technology works. Upon entering the company's website, the visitors see a special link to the online registration form. By clicking on it, the client has a unique opportunity to remotely select the necessary service, a convenient day and time for himself. Having decided on the choice, the users receive the information of reservation in the form of an SMS message or email. Just 3 simple steps and the online recording is done. The relevance of this technology is due to the fact that earlier it was necessary to come to a medical institution to make an appointment, stand in line and choose a time, which is quite expensive both in time and strength. Online recordings allows you to avoid these problems. The use of this technology has certain advantages. Firstly, saving time for both the specialists and the clients. Secondly, online recording is available at any time, which is a strength, since, for example, there are time limits for telephone or face-to-face recording. In addition, a high degree of visibility when recording online is also an advantage, since the client can see what time is busy or free and choose the most appropriate one. Also, this technology makes it possible to collect and store information about the client, about his appointments, the list of services in one place, which positively affects the provision of medical services due to open statistics. The risk of loss of record data is also minimized. There are actually a lot of examples of companies in the field of medicine that successfully use online recording technology. So let's pay attention to the largest medical clinics in Germany. The Skön Clinic network in Germany is a world-famous medical institution that is recognized as one of the best in the country due to high results in the provision of medical services, therapy, and rehabilitation of patients in all areas. For quick communication with customers around the world, this company were among the first to introduce online recording to reduce the queue for telephone recording. And also Asklepios Altona in the University Hospital of Hamburg, one of the oldest hospitals in northern Germany. It's part of a it's a part of a large medical network of a country, Asklepios Kliniken. Asklepios Altona specializes in robotic surgery, gastroenterology and abdominal surgery, neurology and oncology. On its website, the company also provides the possibility of online recording.
In January 2021, a survey was conducted among Russian patients on whether they needed an online record. 67% of users answered that they need the opportunity to sign up online. 22% of respondents answered that the choice of the recording method depends on the situation. For example, whether a patient needs administrator's advice. Only 8% are recorded only by phone. The participants were also asked about the preferred option of making an appointment. 22% prefer only online recording. 8% believe that it's better to use a call. And almost 70% are sure that both options are necessary. Such results indicate that the ability of an online record is mandatory technology that is highly appreciated among users. Therefore, we think that a medical company that has its own website or applications must necessarily have an online recording function. A technology that is quite related to online recording technology is a waiting list. Waiting lists are also used through the website of the medical company to communicate with the client and allow you to enroll the patient in the waiting list. Waiting lists are used in cases when there is no free time for recording or the work schedule has not yet been determined. As for advantages of this technology, it makes it possible not to refuse the patient, but to put him on the waiting list and contact him when there is an opportunity to make an appointment. This will improve customer service and increase patient loyalty, which will certainly affect the number of repeat visits to the clinic and revenue growth. The waiting list technology has found wide application in Russia. We think this is due to the fact that the workload of medical organizations in the country is very high. For example, the patient portal, which is a web resource used by residents of different cities of the Russian Federation to interact with state medical institutions, has a waiting list lab. This technology allows residents to track the status of their application and the nearest opportunity to get to the reception. Such a technology as a waiting list needs to be implemented in several situations. For example, if a doctor has gone on sick leave, that is, it's not known when he will go to work. Therefore, it is impossible to sign up for a certain date. This approach will keep the customer and his loyalty. In other words, if the doctor is sick, then the company can use the waiting list technology. There may also be a situation of high workload of a medical institution, as for example, it happened during a pandemic. That is, appointments for receptions will be busy, while access to the next date will be closed. Then the waiting list technology will allow you to save data about customers who are interested in receiving services in this particular place. Then, with the help of this technology, the client will be contacted and he will be able to make an appointment. SMS and email newsletters are also technologies for communication with the client in the field of medicine. These mailings can be of various types. For example, informing about a successful online appointment, a reminder about an appointment, a message about the need to pass tests, informing about new services, procedures, opening of new centers, notifications about changes in work schedules or other unforeseen situations, sending discounts and coupons to customers. On the slide, you can see the statistics of SMS usage in clinics of the Russian Federation. If we consider the advantages of this technology, we note that the use of SMS mailings in medicine helps to optimize communication with employees and patients, save money, and improve the health of patients. SMS notifications are a powerful tool for increasing patient loyalty and the quality of the clinic's business processes. The use of SMS notifications improve customer service and reduce the number of absences to the clinic.
There is no doubt that there are quite a lot of examples of companies that use this technology, considering the options for SMS alerts from Russian clinics. SM Clinics is a large medical holding with a 19 years history of successful development and broad prospects for further growth. You can see example of their message on the slide. We think that this technology is necessary for communication with clients of medical organizations, as there are cases where a client can't answer the phone call, so it is possible to inform via SMS. So this technology is widely used both in Russia and abroad. So we think that companies are implementing this technology as one of the first for building communication with their clients. Promobot scanner. Promobot scanner is also a modern technology that is actively used among medical institutions. As you know, to register in any polyclinic, you need to fill out a lot of documents and provide various confidential data. To improve the quality of this operation and speed up the process, scanners are being introduced in clinics to which you can attach the necessary documents. This technology is used to automatically enter the passport data of patients into the program, which significantly speeds up the registration of new patients and eliminates errors. To improve the quality of patient care, Promobot scanner devices were purchased at the registry of the official branch of the Israel Hospital Hadassah Medical Moscow in Skolkovo, Iran. Kashuba, head of the customer service department at Hadassah Medical Moscow, notes that the use of this technology has a positive impact on the company's activities. The Alpha Health Center, as a federal network of clinics operating in 11 cities of Russia, has also introduced such technology into its activities, which has accelerate the process of patient registration and minimize error in filling out documents. The cost of Promobot scanner started from $1 million rubles. So we think that it is not worth introducing such technology to all medical institutions. The company has implemented such technology should have the following characteristics. The company aims to get rid of the manual data entry in order to serve customer faster. The company aims at automatic servicing processes. The company creates the image of the high-tech company. The company has stable, high income, is a market leader, and on average serves the largest number of consumers among competitors. Next, thus, information technologies have found wide application in the field of medicine. Thank you for your attention. So
thank you.
You're welcome to ask questions.
Yeah, thank you. I would like to highlight a very important thing that we will have another presentation today about the improving products in the medicine. And you will find a very significant gap between technologies that are used to provide customer experience better and to improve the product itself. And extremely sophisticated technologies are implemented to improve the product, but the communication with the client are on an average level. So think about it later. What's the difference, and why in medicine and pharmacy the communication between customer and the improving the product itself are on the different stage of digitalization, and the product is quite more developed, better developed. Okay, thank you so much. And you teams number 1 and 2, you're welcome with your questions.
I suppose we will start. We are team number 2. Can we start?
I would like to ask you to wait for your order. Team number 1 will be the first one, because the next time you will ask on the first place. Team number 1, you're welcome.
Okay. Just a second. Okay, something is wrong with my camera. Okay. I'll start. And actually, you've told us a lot about the advantages of chatbots. Why are they useful? Why are they even necessary in communication with clients? But you didn't really mention any disadvantages of them. So our question is, what do you think are the main disadvantages of chatbots?
Thank you for your question, and I think I will answer it. In my opinion, it is possible to mention several disadvantages of chatbots. Firstly, it is distrust, for example, from the older generation, and it's really a great disadvantage. Next, some users at the first stage of working with chatbot call for the operator. That's why the efficiency of using chatbots is reduced. And finally, there is no doubt that it's quite difficult to cover all possible issues that may interest the client. So I think that is the last disadvantage of this technology.
Okay, thank you for your answer. So our next question is connected to SMS mailing. So how do you think, what factors influences the effectiveness of SMS mailing? And maybe a little bit about the effectiveness itself. So how to measure it?
So I think I can answer. So probably the main factor that can be identified. This is a provider that provides the net newsletter, and the text of the message, and the time of sending the message. Observing the different interval for sending messages to groups of clients depends on the degree of loyalty, and it can also improve the effectiveness of our mailing. Yes, and if we talk about the advertising advertising messages to people who have not yet applied to clinics, it is very important to choose the right database of numbers for advertising, so that it goes as efficiently as possible. And the effectiveness of SMS mailing is evidenced by the conversation. For example, an SMS about the promotion was sent to 100 consumers. According to the results of promotion, the number of consumers who took part in the promotion after receiving the SMS is summed up, and This can be traced using the loyalty card. So it is also possible to calculate that what share of total revenue for the days of promotion was made by the purchases of the mailing list bills.
Okay, thank you for your well thought answer. So our mm, actually the question about the effectiveness was the third one. So I guess you just answered the second and the third questions at once. Thank you.
Okay, let's move to the second team.
Okay, hello everyone. And our first question is what do you think? What is the most effective technology for customers and for companies? It can be different technologies.
Thank you for the question. We will think for a minute. So I think that I will try to answer your question. As for customers, online appointment is the most important technology for them because it is rated quite highly by customers because there is no need to waste their free time for waiting and for calling. And there is no doubt that time is a really important resource. So that's why customers choose online recording. As for the company, we think that every technology is really important because all of them have a lot of advantages. For example, Chatbot is able to help the client at any time through the website or application, and online recording allows the company to optimize the whole process, and robots increase the efficiency of the operation, and at the same time it reduces costs.
Okay, thank you for answer. The second question about online appointment. As I understand, about 70% of people approve a recording of this appointment. And my question is, do you think that the recording of these appointments is unethical? Because it is a personal information, and if it will be hacked, it will be some kind of disaster.
Thank you for a question. We will think for 1 minute. Maybe can you write your question in chat?
Okay, 1 second. I sent.
Yeah, I think that there is a bit of misunderstanding because we talked about making an online appointment, but not recording it.
Yes, in presentation we used the word recording like the synonym of appointment. Maybe it's problem of translation. We don't think that someone should record the video of consultation, something like that. We just said about online appointment.
Yes, I understood. Your point, but maybe then you share your opinion about should this appointment be recorded? How do you think? For example, for future solution of how to say conflicts or something like that.
Maybe it should be recorded, but in this case, it should be a strong system of protecting data, because yes, if something goes wrong and some hackers attacks, so this issue becomes really unethical if personal data like this will be disclosed. It's question about the quality of data protection. Yes.
Okay, thank you for your answer. And our third question, you have told about the use of robotic technology in Russia, and maybe you give us examples of using the technologies abroad.
Yes, of course. There are a lot of examples of using such technologies as robots in other countries. For example, in such country as Japan, it is very popular. For example, they use a robot nurse that does such actions as collecting garbage, serving food, changing clothes, and some other functions that and finally it helps the nurse with her responsibilities, and that's in the fact it really improve the efficiency of all operations.
Thank you.
Thank you for your questions.
Thank you, my friends. As I told before, as I mentioned before, there is a very significant gap because between the solutions that are used to improving products in medicine and solutions that are concentrated on the communication with clients because of a few factors. And the most important is the issue of their responsibility, because we cannot provide unique experience for our clients in the medicine because of the ethical issues, first of all, and because of the responsibility for the mistakes. If we will make any mistake during our consultation that is created by the machine learning algorithms, for example, who will be finally responsible? Of course, the company that provides such experience. In this case, communication between client and the firm in this industry is very traditional, and we can't measure, for example, the influence of the industry for that zero in the medicine in aspect of communication. We cannot provide an absolutely unique experience for our clients. We cannot support them without human support in all aspects. Maybe just to find any appropriate time for visit, maybe to provide any unique recommendations for improving their health. I could hardly imagine this situation. So this way, we understand that even in such well-developed industries like in medicine and pharma, there is a very significant gap in implementing modern technologies. And I compare it with, I don't know, any traditional industries such as any examples. I don't know, auto services, for example. I think the same solution might be implemented in those industries too. So pharma and medicine is not the winner of the digitalization in case of communication with the client, but all the aspects about the product development might be extremely sophisticated and might achieve an absolutely unexpected level. And I would like to ask the team number 2 to present their vision about the improving the products in the pharma and medicine. So with their presentation, if you're ready, please let me know. That's good. So you're welcome. And during these presentations, team number 1 and 3, please try to understand the nature of the difference and to highlight the difference between modern technologies in creating the product and in communication with the clients. Yeah, you're welcome.
So hello, and today we are going to present you pharmacy and medicine, an aspect of products that they are delivered. So our team is birth team, so we can start. Next slide. Yes, so we are going to speak about 2 technologies that we consider the most interesting ones. So the first one is automated dispensing cabinet, or simply ADC. It's an automated computerized drug storage device, or like cabinet designed for hospitals. It allows medications to be stored and dispensed near the point of care while controlling and tracking drug distribution. And this allows for a reduction in human error, increase in fill time, allows staff to focus on patient contact rather than filling the prescriptions, because it's always take a lot of time to do. And the next technology is today bioprinting. So it is combination of 3D printing with biomaterials to replicate parts that imitate natural tissues, bones, and other parts in our body. So it is mainly used in connection with drug research and mostly recently as cell scaffolds to help repair damage, parts of the body and joints. And it has been used in medicine since around 2007 and has been employed to help study or recreate almost every part of our body. So now we are going to speak more deeply about ADC. So how does it work? When data is entered on digital screens, for example, user identification, item request, and etc. information, only selected drugs and drawings open, giving user access to selected items. So it works like automat with cola or bankomats that we use, and each transaction is recorded electronically. So tracking of the stocking and distribution process can occur by interfacing the unit with a certain pharmacy computer, and these cabinets can also be interfaced with other external databases such as resident profiles, facilities admission or transfer systems, and also billing systems. So key features that we found very interesting about these ADC systems is that it incorporated advanced software and electronic interfaces by synthesizing high-risk steps in the medication use process, so it can somehow understand the situation with each patient and provide some information about them and select drugs for patients. So this unit-based medication repositories provide computer-controlled storage, dispensing, tracking, documentation of all medications distributions on the resident care unit. And since automated dispensing cabinets are not located in the pharmacy, so they're considered decentralized medication distribution systems. And tracking of the stocking and distribution process can occur by interfacing the unit with a certain pharmacy computer.
So if we're talking about the cases of implementation, the ADC technology was implemented in many countries like South Korea, Japan, and, for example, Australia. They used in 9 Queensland health hospital and health services, but under a new tender issued only on this week, the organization says it was looking to establish a panel for 1 or more suppliers to provide an enterprise-wide ADC server solution along with ADC devices, software, support, maintenance, and implementation services. So according to small research about cases of implementation, ADC can be used by big networks of clinics, maybe on the governmental base of support to make a control system. So yeah, and we go to the next slide. About 3D bioprinting, the goals of 3D bioprinting, it's repair of damaged tissues of organs, while its main purpose is to mimic the natural complexity of a biological tissue that will promote cell differentiation and tissue regeneration. It works by printing procedure that based on the precise layering of biomaterials. The required cells are taken from the patient and then cultured until there are enough of them to create bio-ink that is loaded into the printer. This is not always possible. Therefore, for some tissues, stem cells are taken that are capable of becoming any cell in the body. Or, for example, porcine collagen protein, seaweed, or others. If we talk about a common problem of this technology is a lack of medical strength and integrity of the printed structures due to inherent prototypes of hip projects. And about the future development, bioprinted researchers should focus on new biocompatible materials that could maintain structural integrity, suitable hydrogel material with appropriate mechanic properties, diffusion coefficient, and other features that are can be necessary. So can we go further? In presentation. Victoria, can you change the slide?
Yeah, so we could
okay.
wrote that had some problems with presentation.
Okay, it's okay. I will just tell us the details. So examples of implementation of 3D printing in medicine is can be used to create patient-specific products based on the patient's anatomy. Examples include joint replacements, cranial implants, and dental restorations. Restoration as well as bone tissue, skin, blood vessels, and even some organs. A team at Swansea University developed a bioprinting technology in 2014 that allows the creation of an artificial bone prosthesis in exact shape of the desired bone, using a biocompatible material that is both durable and regenerative. In 2019, Israel scientists printed the world's first 3D heart with blood vessels. It is still very small in size of cherry, but it is able to perform its function. In Russia, the private laboratory 3D bioprinting solution announced the results of first experiment of transplanting a thyroid gland organ construct printed using a Russian bioprinter into a mouse. Over the next few months, the construct took root and proved the viability. And in 2018, in this laboratory, Bioprint printed in weightlessness a mouse thyroid gland constructing human cartilage tissue. About the world implementation in terms of daily practice, Australia and Netherlands launched the partnership between institutes and university for develop and expanding the usage of 3D printed stem cells for the treatment of end-stage renal diseases. And 3D bioprinting can be relevant innovation for adoption in transplantation centers with access to collaboration with research institutes for control and development. Also about the pharmacy, pharmacological type of implementation, the 3D printing. 3D printing has a potential application in other product areas. For example, research is underway on the use of 3D printing for the production of pharmaceuticals, with the potential to create unique dosage forms of formulations. Including those that can provide slower and faster absorption. And in terms of examples of implementation in this case, in 2015, the Food and Drug Administration approved one such 3D printed epilepsy drug designed to deliver a large dose of an active ingredient that can rapidly disintegrate in water. About the future in pharmaceutical field, 3D printing could also be used to create personalized drugs that combine multiple drugs into a single pill or polypill. In addition, researchers are using bioprinters to create cellular and tissue constructs such as skin grafts and organs, but these applications are still in experimental stage. That's all.
So yes, sorry for because my internet connection is very low. Maybe I missed to change the slide in time. So overall, about the 3D bioprinting, what we may say, what companies should produce. Yes, like the companies that produce equipment for
Dentistry, for example, definitely should be implemented 3D bioprinting, like dental clinics will use this technology. And to correct dental beads, and these processes will become much more successful. And about the individual orthosis, replacing the use of GIPS and its alternatives. So it's quite rather innovative now, and companies producing conventional orthodonts needs to adapt this technology too. And 3D bioprinting also finds application in the production of personalized medicines. For example, ZipDose 3D printing technology allows to create an individual dosage with an active substance content of up to 1,000 milligrams. And as a result, the patient simplifies like the admission procedure and receives a fast-acting drug that dissolves in 2 seconds. So pharmaceutical companies should implement this technology as soon as possible, because like the expansion of the production of medicines with 3D bioprinting and individual dosage is expected. Sorry. Thank you for attention. Here are all the links and the references.
So we are waiting for questions.
Good, thank you so much. One of the most important solution that is now available for all the medicine around the world is the ability to predict any diseases and to avoid any mistakes of doctor based on the statistical methods. And unfortunately, you didn't cover this issue, but okay, it's your solution are very interesting too. I just would like to highlight it for our colleagues. And those solutions are extremely important for avoid any mistakes that will be provided by the doctors, and implementing big data for such purpose will provide for us an opportunity to support our citizen and support even the small clinics when there is a lack of professionals, when there is a lack of well-educated doctors. So we will improve by those solutions the average level, health level of our citizen around all around the country, in each, even the smallest city. I don't know about the Russian medicine, but in European universities, I have this experience. I collaborated with the professor in IT, in machine learning and artificial intelligence, and he has the course in the Spain University of Granada about the implementing modern technologies for medicine purpose for students in medicine, and this trend to improve knowledge of medicine student as in IT technologies, in machine learning, and using those tools as an absolutely usual for the doctor is extremely important for the average level of the medicine, as well as your examples. So this case support our opinion about the extremely high level of solutions in the medicine. For example, if you would like to research the issue of modern solutions, and you will find a lot of papers in Google Scholar or in your other database about the scientific fields, you will find that the majority of papers are about IT science, because the machine learning and all other solutions are, of course, first of all about the nature of IT, and the secondly will be medicine, not the business or law, not management, not sociology or all other scientific fields. Medicine is the most widespread direction for all the modern solution for scientists, and it supports our opinion in that product itself, product in medicine, improving the level of the medicine by improving the level of creating the product is one of the most important topic for scientists and for the people who is concerned about the digitalization of our economy and about digitalization of the companies. Okay, thank you so much. And let's move to the questions by the team number 1 and 3. Team number 1 will be the first one. I'm sorry, Sofia, I didn't see your hand. Do you have any question?
I just want to fulfill your comment that one of the technologies that we looked at, it was artificial intelligence, but we decided not to talk about it because we had questions about what is the product of medicine and pharmacy. But for other guys, I want to make some comments that it is very interesting that it is like a trend in 2022 to usage of artificial intelligence, that it evaluates large amounts of patient data and other information. And one of the interesting startups that we're considered to use but decided not to put it, it is like a British startup. It's a program that can scan electronic health records and some hand records of doctor's notes and identify some information and patient information, and so it can help to prevent some misunderstandings and other features. So it's very interesting startup. I just want to share it with you.
Yeah, perfect. So don't worry about my comment, because of course there are too many directions of improving product solutions in medicine. So it's impossible to cover all of them during the presentation for 15-20 minutes. So don't worry, it's not a problem. I just would like to make this picture more wide for our colleagues while they are thinking about their questions, that they will be able to find very interesting questions and any lacks between the current solutions and expected results, etc. So doesn't matter. My friends from the team number 1, you're welcome with your questions.
Okay, so you've mentioned it slightly, but we would like to hear it a little bit more explained. So what difficulties arise when using 3D bioprinting in the field of medicine and pharmacology?
Thank you for your question. And actually, there are many problems associated with bioprinting. First of all, it is complexity structure of the human body. And for example, the human body has a complex network of cells, tissues, nerves, and structures that must be arranged in a certain way to function properly. And therefore, at the moment, it is difficult to print full-fledged human organs. And so far, some organ tissues are mainly printed, not organs in general, but only some tissues. Also, there are difficulties in the creation and writing of software for the bioprinters, since this requires certain data, and this data should be processed and entered into the system in order to that everything work well. Also, there are problems in legislation, because legal and state institutions that there are now cannot agree on one opinion and pass certain laws. And because this area contains many risks within itself that need to be taken into account. And also, if we talk about Russia, in Russia, there is no legal regulation for the bioprinting of organs and tissues at all. And legislation that exists regarding transplanted organs and tissues does not mention organs and tissues printed on a bioprinter. And there are several others difficulties that are less important, but anyway.
Okay. Thank you for your vast answer. So let's move to the second question, and it's a little bit about ethics. So, do you think that, well, is it ethical that embryonic cells can be used in 3D bioprinting, and how is this issue resolved? Especially when you've mentioned the legal regulation in Russia and that it doesn't really cover those topics. So, how do you think this could be solved in Russia, especially?
Yes, thank you. It is very actual question because yes, it's the use of stem cells and including embryonic cells is an ethical issue in the modern world. And this question has a history of controversy and in ethical sphere and in political. And because right now there is some ethical debates about using of stem cells, and but we believe that this aspect should be regulated by law, and also each person will should have the right to independently decide whether he is ready to use his own cells or not, and it should depend on as regulations by government and also by a person opinion about this issue. But I think that in future, when this sphere will be developed developed more, this issue will be solved in different levels, I think.
Okay, thank you for your answer. So let's move to the third one. So, what are the problems associated with automated dispensing cabinets? So you've told us a lot about them. So is everything so smooth as we could have thought?
Yeah, so there is a question of the safety, I suppose, and appropriateness of the drugs that are dispensed. And it's not completely understood because so they tell that it is really safe and that they can prevent some misunderstandings and misleads with drugs and patients. But on the other hand, their overuse of these overriders in cabinets with patients, profilings, and etc., and like placing it can place patients at risk of some allergic reactions that are not mentioned in their list or some drug interactions, so and other hazards. And also, I think that failure to recognize lookalike names in this ADC's list, because, for example, there can be two patients with identical names, and this computer can just not recognize these names, and it can lead to choosing, for example, the wrong medication or some. So also this problem about some allergic reactions, interactions of drugs, and etc. Yes, so I think that this is the biggest question and problem that can arise.
Okay, thank you for your answers. It will be all for our answers. Questions, sorry.
Yeah, thank you very much for your questions.
Okay, thank you. Team number 3, you're welcome.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. And our first question: what is needed for 3D bioprinting to be used everywhere, so that every hospital can afford such a technology to help their patients?
Thank you for your question. And I think this question is very important. And we think that bioprinting technologies, like all new medical treatments, must go through safety test and due process of regulation before they become available everywhere. Because printing of organs is very important and very dangerous process. Yes, and moreover, in order for every hospital to be able to afford such a device, prices for it should be significantly reduced. And we think that this will happen only when all research and development in this area will be finished, and when the practical application of these technologies begins. Because now in the study of development, such technologies very expensive, and not every hospital can afford it. And we think it will be in 10 years maybe.
Okay, I agree with you. My next question is about automated dispensing cabinets. Maybe I missed something, but could you clarify, are such cabinets installed in Russian hospitals?
Yeah, so we didn't mention this information because we researched this issue and found out that these machines are sold in Russia and distributed, and they have distributors by Russian vendors. But however, we couldn't find information about the hospitals that install these machines. Perhaps this can be due to the fact that hospitals in Russia are poorly technologized, or maybe that they don't share this information too much because they're mostly like not private, they're governmental. I know, but so we found information about their distribution, but about their installation, there's no such information on the internet.
Okay, thank you. And next question is about the government influence on the process of implementing new medical technologies. So while studying the articles, we read about such governmental intervention as tax incentives for the introduction of new technologies to medical organizations. So do you agree that this is the right method, or should private medical organizations decide on the need for new technology without external pressure? It's some question to discuss, maybe.
Yeah, thank you. So I think we need 1 minute to think.
Okay.
Could you please repeat your question?
Yes. We learned about such governmental intervention as tax incentives for introduction of new technologies into medical organizations, private organizations. So do you agree that this is the right method, or should private medical organizations decide on the need for the new technology without external pressure?
Thank you for your question. 1 second, please.
Yeah, so maybe it's right decision because private. So I didn't really get the information about the external pressure, because so if you have private hospital, I think that it's okay that you should pay some taxes for installation of medical. So medical some. I didn't really get what they should pay taxes for. So for some medicals itself, or what?
As I understand, they will have some tax tax benefits, like they will need to pay less taxes if they use new technologies, renovate their.
Okay, so they should pay less taxes. So okay.
Yes.
No, of course, yes, this is a good decision from government to. So in Russia, we have really low low rate of innovation. It's, as I remember, we're on the 45th place in the world according to innovation rate, and I think that's a good decision to pressure somehow companies to install some new technologies and to innovate their hospitals to increase this innovation rate.
Okay, thank you. I think that's all for our questions.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, it works. Thank you so much for this presentation. Unfortunately, we will move for the third presentation to the next seminar. Be careful, we will provide the next seminar not on the next week. We will have it at 12. Yeah, 12 May. So this way, we will provide presentation by the team number 1 on the next seminar. Okay, thank you. You asked me to show your scores. Team number 3 will get 8. Team number 2 will get 9. I would like to ask you to think more general and to find any trends. For example, for team number 3, if you are going to describe any solutions about the area of communication between medicine centers and customer, you will first of all understand what is the main purpose of such solutions. I understood the main purpose is providing an unique experience according to the history of the previous interactions and according to the previous history of diseases, communication with doctors, and etc. If you're going to describe only solutions without understanding what is the purpose of those chatbots, you will find sometimes any wrong ideas. And first of all, you need to understand the particular goal of such solutions. So this way, try to be more general on the first stage on the presentation and to understand the right purpose of such solutions. When you provide good examples, understand why some companies didn't provide such solutions, not only because of the size of the company. Of course, if we will have the medicine center with 5 doctors, we don't have any opportunities to invest in such solutions. But maybe there are any other aspects. For example, limitations in Russian laws about the privacy issues of the customer of medicine centers, or maybe there are any countries where the law is more flexible and we are able to provide more personalized experience for them. So my idea is to try to be able to find any trends, not only in particular solutions, but as in general, your presentation well provided. Thank you so much for such activity. So someone from your team or from team number 1, sorry, I forget it, asked about the opportunity to move the group to the second seminar. So to have the presentation, not now, but with the second team. If this person is right now here, please let me know. And yes, there is such an opportunity because we have some problems with the schedule with the second team, with the second seminar that I provided before. And let me know in email, we will find how to move your minor to the second group. So that's all. If you have,
yes, question. So the first team, next seminar on the 12th of May, will present our today's presentation. After that, there will be a small discussion on it, and after that, we'll present our next presentation, right? Because we are the team number 1, so we are like presenting.
You need to find the schedule in the chat in the MS Teams, and the schedule on the next seminar is team number 3, then team number 2, then team number 1. So this way we didn't miss your presentation. You will present the first. After you will be the team number 3, team number 2, and if we will have enough time, you will present it again. So we need to follow this schedule without particular dividing on the seminars. So if we will have a lack of time on the end of the course, it means that we will miss some presentation in the end of the schedule, but we need to follow the schedule right now.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you, my friends. That's all. See you again and have very good holidays. Please let me know if you will have any question. I'm always in the chat. Thank you so much and bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.